Ooh, so we are live. So, hello, welcome to another episode of Talking Tech, the semi-weekly podcast for Mobile Tech Talk. Episode 49. I've not given it a title yet because it was a last minute rush. So there will be one edited in. What is it? I say editing. I'll change it all. So you'll sit with a title, but for the meantime, whilst we're recording it, we have no title. I am, if you can't tell, Chris, and if you can guess who I'm with, you're a genius or you just know us too well. I'm with Mark. So he's waving there.
Yeah, hello, people. Yes, it's just the two of us because, well...
webcams don't like Dom's computer.
Yes, and our favourite backup, Fred, has said, sorry, but he's had a terrible day, and it was a tiny bit short notice that we were asked.
A bit shorter than our usual short notice, I'll put it that way.
Yes, you can probably count the numbers of minutes on your hands.
So, without any delay, because obviously we're a day
because it's 8 o'clock, and oh my god, by the time this finishes, it'll be 9 o'clock, and I will just be ready to die.
Yeah, not only were we a day late, we're also an hour, so we're a day and an hour late.
Yeah.
So I think that's a new record. So I'll start off straight away with the Samsung Galaxy S8, which is rumored, keyword there, to do the Apple thing, or the iPhone thing, and ditch the headphone jack. I've not used a phone without a headphone jack. I couldn't make an accurate comment on if I would miss it or not. I know Mark probably would miss the headphone jack.
Not really. I don't actually use. To be honest, I have. If somebody really could be asked, trolling back through, there's a gigantic thread on HeadFi, and questions what is the best audiophile phone. And I'm pretty sure I have a comment from about 2 or 3 years ago saying the one without a headphone jack.
Okay.
Because if you buy a phone is a convergence device. It is, by very definition, it's compromised at everything. So the audio on it, like if you really care about the audio, you don't use a phone.
Yeah, true.
You know, as simple as that. It's like if you really care about photography, you don't use a phone.
Yeah. So like I said, I've not used obviously I still use my 6P, and that obviously has a headphone jack. And whilst I have been using the NetBuds, which are currently on charge, I kind of sometimes forget to charge them, so I do go back to the headphone. But then again, adapters. Like I've just brought a Surface Pro 4, so I kind of need an adapter. But that's a different story. I'm not, like I said, so far I'm not too bothered by it. I'm not surprised it's being done because, let's face it, Moto did it. I want to say Apple obviously did it, and there was someone else, Le Echo or Le TV or whatever they're called. How are they going to? This then brings the question up of what port are they going to use? Are they going to stick with micro USB, or are they going to move to Type C?
Well, everything's going to Type C regardless.
See, anyway, yeah. So I'd imagine
that would be, I mean, it'll be Type C. But to be honest, I still think if Samsung remove it, it's stupid. You gain nothing by taking this away, so why do it? It just why? I mean, obviously Apple do it because they just like abusing the people who give them money.
And they just like steal their money as well on top of that.
So, I mean,
so here's an overpriced phone. Oh, and you're going to need this adapter. And you're going to need this adapter. And this one, so you've probably run up 100 quid in adapters.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever look at, like kinky porn sites, I mean, there's tons of people into, masochism and being abused. And clearly, Apple buyers are really into that because I don't understand why they keep... Apple treats them so badly, is so abusive to them, and they keep going back for more. And hey, if it works, if being smacked about and abused works for you, I'm very pleased for you, but I choose not to.
Yeah. See, I had someone ask. I suppose you don't like. Obviously, I take IT level 3. Someone turned around to me and went, "Well, said to the whole group really. Oh, I take it you don't like MacBooks or any Apple products," and we're just like, no. Why do you think we all use Windows?
Because
And
you're grown-ups.
yeah, because we're grown ups,
Because
we
you're
know
grown-ups,
what we're doing.
and you can cope with more than one button.
Yeah, but obviously a lot of the software needed is in Windows, so like Apple is just the MacBooks primarily just for dumb people or people that just want like Final Cut Pro to work really well with.
No, it's for people who want to sit in Starbucks. That's that, and write their novel.
That'll
That's
do the
what
job,
it's for.
and it's a lot better.
Well, to be honest, there are basically any computer on Earth would do the
Yeah.
job, but it doesn't have the same hipster posing value.
I don't know. I just realised my audio just peaked like fuck then. But no, so I'm not too bothered so far. I've yet to come across this as a problem.
Well, for one, it's a rumor, so it might happen, it might not, but I think if Samsung do it, it would be stupid because you gain nothing by doing it. I mean, you just don't. It's like removing the camera from the back. What, why? Why would you do it?
Yeah.
Like, you gain what, maybe 5 square millimeters of space?
Yeah. So leaving the S8 behind, we'll go to Mark's favorite network. That's a joke, obviously. So ID, if you don't know, they're from Carphone. They're the network by Carphone Warehouse, and they're an MVNO of 02?
3.
3. I can have thoughts. I was unsure, so I went 02. Now, if you don't know, we've probably, well, if you don't know, and you've been listening long enough, you'll know that we've constantly been going on about their £5 pay monthly rate. Well,
Yeah, the Pokemon Go tariff.
the Pokemon Go tariff, as we call it.
Yeah, because I mean, it is perfect for that. And that is actually like what my sister buys, like my 8.5-year-old nephew. Like
Yeah.
that, I pointed that out to her pretty much because he wanted to play Pokemon Go, and to do that out and about, either she needed to go with him and have her phone tethered, and that was obviously battery destroying, and it required her going with him, and she really didn't want to. So yeah, for a $5 a month capped plan. So if the kid uses all of his minutes, all of his data, whatever, cannot run up a bill, like cannot bill you an extra penny. But anyway, so aside from that, ID previously were all monthly contracts. Many of them were SIM only, but they were all monthly. They have just launched a new pay-as-you-go offering.
Yeah, and they come in a good, I'd say good range. For 15, I'll go straight up for the most expensive. For £15, you are going to get 1,000 minutes, if I read that rightly, unlimited text and 4 gigs of data. Obviously, this is
That is the
nothing.
tariff. I mean, that is pretty good, I think, for pay-as-you-go. 4 gigs of data, 10 bajillion texts, and 1,000 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, just for example, the £10 is basically half the minutes, still the unlimited text, 1 gig of data, and the £5 is, this is where I draw the line, 125 minutes, 500 text, and 100 megabytes of data.
Yeah, I mean, for you that sucks. For me, that would suck. I don't know. For my parents, for my parents, though, I mean,
I just take the gig personally, but that's me.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, 100 megabytes does seem bizarrely small.
Well, yeah, like 500 would be a stretch.
Yeah.
But get 100 megabytes.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but I don't know. Maybe for if all you ever do is like maybe WhatsApp or Hangout messages, that's it. That's all you use data for. And you could realistically, because you could set all your major app downloads to do so over Wi-Fi only. If
It could work.
yeah, I mean, to be honest though, at £5 a month, I would look at that, look at their monthly offering, and
Yeah.
I'd persuade the parents, because it's like, for the same amount of money, you get a hell of a lot more.
Yeah. So we'll get back to because this is so unorganized. We'll get back. We've got more network stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. One that I quickly threw in, which I didn't realize and is nearly a month old, is LastPass. And if you don't know what LastPass is, it is basically just a password manager. Now, if you're like me and you're a cheapskate, you've probably been using the one built into Chrome, which has worked well for me. It's not got me hacked yet. But if one of the plans, you obviously got it on desktop for free. But if you wanted to have it on a mobile device, it would be part of the subscription.
And to be fair, because I've been paying for the subscription for a couple of years, it was not a lot of money. It was not. I think it was like $12 a year.
Yeah, so not a lot, but I'm kind of a cheapskate, so to have the app on mobile is now free. So pretty much there is still a premium, but it's not really for, I don't know, the average user. But I thought it was kind of nice. So I only know because Mark told me just before we started. So I will give it a go.
Yes. In case anyone's wondering what the background for that, why this is coming up, and why we're getting to this, like 2 months later or something. Chris was explaining that he had swapped browsers, and with his new browser, because he'd been used to having all of his passwords remembered in Chrome, he was finding the transition to be a little bit jarring.
That was easy. I just literally imported everything from Chrome. I just forgot to put the Google Hangouts plugin in. But
yeah, but well, LastPass will you can sync it basically with everything. I think the browsers I use it across would be Waterfox, Opera, Chrome, Edge, and I think that could be it. Yeah, I don't know. I use a lot of browsers for different things. But yeah, it basically works across everything, and more importantly than anything, it works nicely with your phone. So if you need to log into anything, and because you're using it to remember all your passwords, you can have it auto-generate
temporary ones.
Well, not so much temporary, but passwords that are secure.
Yeah. You set a criteria and it makes passwords based on the criteria.
Exactly, and my default is 26 characters long, using numbers, uppercase, lowercase, and squiggles, and so there is no way on earth I would ever actually remember any of those passwords. And if you have to write one in, yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so, I recently had a case of someone gave me a password, and you could tell it was literally just a randomly generated one. And that was the reason. I quickly learned that was the reason why they had a password saved into Chrome.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do, secure random passwords like that, they are fantastic. But if you need to try and type one of those into your mobile, and especially on your mobile, which might really try and helpfully autocorrect words.
Oh God, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, and if you're also jumping from upper and lower cases, and then you get random symbols, and depending on what keyboard you use on your mobile, trying to find the ampersand, or trying to find some the percentage, or it can be traumatic. So the app, it just you can have it set to recognize when it wants passwords, and it will just fill it in for you, and like magic.
Yeah. So I will be going through later and adding all my passwords. So back to the networks, because I didn't realize that there was movement in the networks. Three have, and this is not a paid endorsement, which is what Mark said it might sound like. This is literally Mark told me. I was like, yeah, that'll do. They've just brought out their new Christmas plans. Now, these are basically 12, from what I can see, 12-month, contracts from 12 months or the 1 month rolling. And there is some pretty good ones. For example, the one that caught my eye very, very quickly is the 3 advanced plan. It's a 12-month contract, so yeah, it's only 12 months. There is 300, not 300 gig of data. That'd be nice. 30 gigabytes of data, 200 minutes, or you can need text for £15 a month. Now that does sound quite
Yep. That's pretty good. And in case you make slightly more calls than that, if you want basically the same offer, but you want to bump the minutes up to 600 rather than 2, that's at £18 a month.
Yeah. I'm 18 now. I can have a phone contract.
Yes, you
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, you can.
This is literally one of them things that I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, you'll now also be able to get to it. So there's that. And if you want to actually go with the all-you-can-eat data rather than 30 gigs, in case you think 30 gigs might not be enough, because I don't know, might not be. I've used more than that in a month, some months. The all-you-can-eat 200 minutes, all-you-can-eat text, 12 months is 24 quid. And the 600-minute version of that is 27.
That is really good.
And they also offer possibly the most insane contract ever.
12 months these are, by the way.
Yeah, these are all 12 months, the Christmas special ones. And this one is all you can eat data, all you can eat minutes, all you can eat texts. And it also says 3 months free, which I don't know, I haven't looked into the details. And that is 32 quid a month. That
is good. That is very good. What they need to do now is then make it so you can add a second SIM card, like a data-only SIM, like Google Fi, and so you could shove that in a tablet or a MiFi device. And Jesus Christ, I would be into that.
Yeah, although I think we need to check to see what this 3 month free thing is, because that just seems weird.
I think they're just giving you it free for 3 months.
Yeah.
But no, they all do also come with, if they are taking 30 gigabytes or more, 30 gigabytes of personal hotspot.
Yeah. The 30 gigabyte ones, you can do whatever shit you like with it. But
I think that
you get 30 gigs, you can do anything. If you go with the all you can eat packages for data, they do specify you get 30 gigs of hotspot data.
But if I'm not mistaken, this is the way it used to be done in the US. It would only really apply to the iPhones because you could use apps and stuff to get around that. So
yes. If you use an iPhone, or if you probably maybe use an Android phone directly bought from 3, unless you've manually adjusted the APNs, it might use a specific APN that would alert 3 to it being a hotspot and not just ordinary data. So yeah, basically you can completely get around it if you want, and it'll take you 5 seconds worth of work. So
yeah,
and that's if you're going to use more than 30 gigs.
I'm really tempted to get more than. I'm really tempted to go for that 30 gigs of data.
The 15 or 18 quid a month ones.
The 15, because I'm on 12. I'm on pay as you go, so 12 gigs for 12 gigs, 100 minutes, 300 texts for 20 quid. I think I might have to save myself a £5 there.
I guess. I don't know. I know with the minutes when I changed, I'm on I think 200, 300.
I don't use minutes. I don't really use that many texts, and I'm kind of keeping it under like 12 gigs a day. I'm keeping it under about 10 gigs of data at the minute.
Yeah, I don't normally use the minutes, but because I know
They're there.
it wouldn't take an awful lot to break it, because all you need is like one long phone call.
Yeah, and you will be quickly there.
Yeah, so I kind of, it's there in the back of my mind. Like, I will a couple of times a month actually fire up the 3 app to check.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think I've ever breached it, but
I've never breached anything, in all fairness. That's just me. So another story that is quite old, one that we didn't even know, Mark knew and saw, but forgot and didn't tell us, is the Sky Mobile.
Well, to be fair, this happened last Tuesday.
Yes.
We think we did the podcast last Monday. And this came out. And to be honest, Sky Mobile launching was like,
Yes.
I mean, who cares?
Yeah, so really, basically Sky've released their own MVNO, and who's it back-ending off? O2.
Yep.
So I've not, for some reason it won't let me view the offerings, but basically we've got another MVNO.
Yeah. The offerings, none of them I remember looking at and thinking, oh, they were any particularly good. I mean, I guess if you already got Sky and you like the idea of all your bills being in one.
Yeah, that's what Talk and BT do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. The only thing they were doing, which was kind of interesting, is they're offering a feature where you can roll over your monthly data allowance. And you can roll it over for up to 3 years.
3 years?
Yes.
Oh, that's quite something.
Yeah. I mean, like, nobody else lets you do this. I don't think anybody lets you roll over your data like a month, never mind up to 3 years. And I also remember seeing somewhere where if you had you could basically share some of your allowance with, like, a friend, family, whomever. Although I can't now see this looking at the article.
Me and Mark had we were briefly discussing some of the topics before we start, as we do. And the one thing I said, if anybody is familiar with Project Fi in the US, it's basically you only pay for what you use, and if you don't use it, it rolls over. So this is minutes, text, data, which is nice, which Sky are kind of doing. They also offer the free use of another SIM card, which you then attach to your account, which will then also allow you to share just your data with it. So obviously this is designed for tablets with SIM cards, which, let's face it, every iPad since probably the first generations had an option for it. There's been quite a few Android tablets and even some Windows tablets.
Yeah, but hands up anybody who knows somebody that has a tablet where they actually use like mobile data.
I do.
Really?
But yes, the neighbor, but they only have it because they get the iPad and the iPhone contracted, and it kind of gives a low amount. But 9 times out of 10, they're connected to Wi-Fi anyway, so the amount they have is pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, how many people use tablets like outside of their homes anyway?
Yeah, true. Or I could argue the Surface Pro 4 is a tablet, and I use it outside my home.
But it's a real computer, so it doesn't.
It has full Windows 10 Pro on it.
Yeah, it's a real computer. You can actually do real stuff on. I mean, the only people I see kind of really this being something really great for is, you know, the douches you see that are like 60 years old and they're taking photos with an iPad.
I tell you, I shit you not, I keep seeing that.
Yeah,
I was at a food
really.
festival, marshal. I was staff, volunteer, marshal, whatever you want to call it, and there was some live music as per usual at these events, and there was somebody stood there with a flaming iPad. Granted, it was an iPad Mini,
Don't
so
care, these people,
it's
unless they have, like, there's a friend of mine who his eyesight, he's legally classified as blind.
now that's different.
Okay, so you know he can see. Okay, you know he has glasses, but I mean I'm not joking. You know they are literally like super thick. So when he uses computers, you know he is using the visibility magnifier thing
Yeah, I
to
know which
zoom
one you
in.
mean.
So if you are, you know, because your eyesight is so phenomenally bad, you need to have a massive device like that. Otherwise, you should just be shot. I mean, seriously, like people that are filming things with iPads, just
Yeah. So, and I'll let Mark because I've not read this last one.
okay. Where's the
It's
next
the
one?
EE beating on Sky Mobile.
Yeah. EE doesn't like the fact that it now has competition in the form of Sky, because now that we have BTEE, the only thing that BTEE does that it's not hugely and massively overly dominant in is providing TV services. BT would very much like to be dominant in providing TV services
They want to
to
be
the
dominant
point.
in everything. Let's
Oh yeah,
face it.
but I mean they spent like millions. I don't know how many millions because I don't care about football, but they spent a truckload of money buying football rights to encourage people to use their crappy BT TV service. And this is the one area where Sky absolutely hands down beats the shit out of them. So naturally, BTEE threw a wobbly and started launching its toys out of the pram everywhere because, oh my, somebody else might be better than at something, and Sky is now going to compete.
Yep. So, like, if you can't tell, me and Mark, I can't speak for everyone on the team, but me and Mark don't have TV. What, do you have a TV, Mark?
I have a TV.
Do you watch actual TV on it?
It's not connected to an aerial.
Oh, so right. I
Yeah,
didn't
I mean,
think it was, but I didn't want to say.
I don't know if got wrong tabs open, but okay, no, you can't really see it. Okay, see this desk thing?
Yeah, it's just on there.
It's
Yeah. So he does have a TV.
I have it. Yeah, it's connected to a computer and a Western digital TV. It
Yeah.
has no TV signal because
I guess
yeah.
you're trying to you don't want to pay for the TV licensing, or do you still pay for that?
Well, no, I don't pay for it, but more just even when I had access to license, I still didn't have the TV plugged in to anything. Broadcast TV, I just have no interest in it. Like,
Yeah, see, the point I was going to get to is I do have a TV in my room. It's just there behind, just like diagonally opposite. It does have an aerial connected to it because I don't live by myself, and the people I do live with watch TV, but I don't switch it on. Well, I do switch it on, but on a very rare occasion.
yeah.
So if that was to blow up now, I probably wouldn't replace it.
No, I mean TVs. They're just display devices.
Yeah, everyone now. But the point I was trying to get to is we don't use. Well, if we do, I do anyway. Don't use the TV for broadcasted TV, and I can almost guarantee Mark does not have any UView device through TalkTalk.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, but
Yeah.
I
have
don't
none of
have
these.
one through EE, and I am with EE. But that's just because they're £2.50 dearer than what I was paying, and of course the contract's in my mum's name, she gets an extra 5 gig of data. So yeah, that one's. But I do not. I just have broadband and phone.
Yeah, but anyway, we may have gone slightly off topic of
Yeah.
this, but to kind of snap back, essentially EE had a bit of a childish hissy fit, and was humming and hawing about the amount of, basically they were saying Sky Mobile uses O2, and well, O2's crap. Their network's slow, they're crap, and they're horrible, and their performance has been bested by practically everybody in almost every category. So O2 are crap, so don't go with Sky Mobile because it'll be crap.
Which is, to me, not a valid argument, and B is, like we said earlier, they're just spitting their dummies out.
Yeah. I mean, this is largely off the back of BTEE is dominant in landlines. It's dominant in mobile. It's not dominant in TV, and it very, very, very desperately wants to be. And Sky completely dominates. So they're throwing a childish hissy fit.
Yeah. But yeah, that's another one. And I believe, yes, that is it for the news. And we might be able to keep this a short one looking at it. But famous last words. So if you notice, we're trying to change format so that we're trying to be a bit more discussive. Is that the correct word?
Not really.
But it'll do. So if you remember, feels like weeks ago, but that's just me. Moto they didn't announce. They announced they were not planning on doing anything to their wearable lineup this year, which basically means no Moto 360 third generation. Which I know Mark was a fan of the Moto 360 first generation. I've obviously, as many know, used a Sony smartwatch, and I've kind of stopped using it, but that's a different discussion. So I want to ask Mark, really, how do you feel about it? Do you want a third gen Moto 360?
Do I want one? No.
You don't want one. Okay, that made that question easy. Your opinions on them not making any?
Well, I think it's kind of curious that this I take to be them declaring they are no longer going to be making them. Now, I don't know whether that means they see it as it's a category that's going to stop existing. It's possible it could just simply be that as a company, nothing is going to be branded Motorola or Moto. It doesn't mean to say that Lenovo isn't going to be making devices.
True.
So it's at this point a little bit difficult to say exactly where it's headed. But Moto, they're the first company that's basically said we're not doing wearables anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if any other companies start following suit, or whether it just means that at CES, Lenovo come out with a range.
Possibly. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because I mean, we kind of use the Moto brand here, and it's bigger in the US, but outside of the US, and I suppose to an extent, the UK, Lenovo is a bigger brand.
So, like I said, I've kind of not worn a wearable in months. I don't really see myself going back to using a wearable. But that's just me. That's probably down to what I do for a job anyway. So,
Possibly. I mean, to be honest, I kind of like went through sort of a burst of having it not used.
yeah,
And if you're in the house, if you're at your desk, you're basically fine because your phone is out. But when you are out and about, especially when walking and such, and you feel the little vibration in your pocket and the vibration on your wrist, it's much easier to just look at your wrist than it is to try and, fish your phone out of your pocket whilst you try. I mean, seriously, this is December. Have you tried to go anywhere in an urban area?
yeah, good point.
Okay, nephew and parent were up at on Sunday, and this was the first weekend of December, so all the Christmas shit in Edinburgh is up and running.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same near enough where I am.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Edinburgh and its worldwide fame and Christmas shite is slightly bigger than what's the town you live in?
Well, it's Measham, but that's probably that's really small. So we'll go for like Colville and Leicester.
Okay, Colville. Yeah. Okay, I think that Edinburgh might just a tiny bit.
Tiny bit better, yeah. A bit busier.
Yeah, I mean, and oh god, like all the German market stuff. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, but there's only so many times you can deal with it.
There's just so many people.
Yeah.
So many people. So seriously, do you want to try and in the middle of that take your phone out of your pocket just to look at it to see, it's some stupid text message saying, "Oh, you just walked past a Starbucks. Here's a nice."
You just you stood outside McDonald's. Android Pay is accepted here. Like that's the limit, is what.
Yeah, I mean, crap. It's so much easier to just be able to glance at your wrist. It really is.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I'm not bothered by it. Mark's not really too bothered by it. There's plenty of other companies to stand up and take the market, if that's the correct term.
There is that. Also, I think part of it is tech in the wearable space hasn't really moved on.
No, I mean, it kind of got stuck in the Android Wear loop.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a first-gen Moto 360, what is the newer one going to do that your original doesn't?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how often do people need to replace their watch?
Yeah. So that is probably our discussion point because it's the only thing I've got booked down.
Yeah, suffice to say, we were not well organised this week.
No, I think not being organised has managed to kind of keep the timings down because I'm not going, Mark doesn't know this, but I'm not going through the whole what we've got because by the time you actually remember what we've got, we will have, well, we're in a backlog now. I mean, we've got posts scheduled up until the 15th and no doubt Mark is going to add some more. I know I've got 7 to write, not Christmas related. You'd be glad.
I don't know how many I have. I know I've got something coming from FedEx tomorrow. Not entirely sure who's sending me it, so I don't really know what it is. And I also have not one, but 2.
Oh, is that the new Royal Mail cards for Christmas then?
Well, they're not.
And Mark's just leaked his address.
They're not very new. I mean,
they're newer design.
No, it's the Christmas ones.
Oh, did they check? I thought it would have been red personally.
No, the normal ones are red.
I thought they would have done like a red.
No. They do these different, and the main thing that they do is, I don't know, like the opening times are actually usable.
Have you thought about opening a PO box?
Unless it was next door, it wouldn't be more helpful. I just wish the bastard, like, seriously, why can they not just like leave these with a neighbor? Well, why? Why can they not do that?
I'll quote this. It is the postie's discretion. It's up to the postie there and then to decide.
I think it's lies because before they used to charge you money to drop it at the local post office.
Yep.
Which my local post office is like 50 yards that way or something. Yeah. See, when you didn't have the option to pay them extra to do something helpful, they always used to leave it with neighbors.
Yeah.
So I don't believe when they say it's at the postie's discretion. I think it's that they're all told not to because they want
money.
Basically more money.
Yeah. So I will leave it there. And I mean, this is a short one. I mean, we're at 41 minutes on Audacity, deduct a minute or two. So we'll say 40 minutes.
Yeah, so, although just because I have things sitting on desks, because I'm going to say about some of them, because we have these, and aren't these quite pretty?
I've seen prettier things, but
oh well, they're quite nice. I mean, and these are actually pretty decent. The company that sent me these sent me 4 things. 2 reviews have been written.
Wow, your productivity makes mine look like shit.
It's because I have like so much stuff I need to do that companies keep sending me shit. Like these I don't actually know. I know it's some Mass Drop are doing them in collaboration with somebody,
but you don't know who with.
Is it like it's like E something MU? I don't know who they are. Yeah. So I don't know what they're called, but they're headphones, and I don't know what they cost. I don't know exactly who the company making them was, but they have wood cups and they're quite nice. So there's them. There's like other things. Oh, there's still like the tiny little AAW cues that are just so fun, and I like them so much. And I kind of like sometimes if something's really, really good, its review takes forever because once it's out of the review queue, I don't get to listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
So there's those. There is. Oh, no, I took them out of the box. Vibro Labs have sent me something. I may not entirely remember exactly which thing it was they sent me. And I know it's on this desk somewhere. At least I'm pretty sure it's on this desk somewhere because it really ought to be. Or I put it into a little case and then forgot which one it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be the thing.
So I will end it there. So, of course, the website is mobiletechtalk.co.uk. Twitter is at MTTFeed. Instagram is MobileTechTalk. Facebook is MobileTechTalk UK. YouTube and Google Plus, you should know the drill by now. Just search for MobileTechTalk, and let's face it, who uses custom URLs on YouTube these days? And last of all, Patreon, which is obviously patreon.com/MobileTechTalk. If you give us a little bit of money, we can make some more better shit for you. Alternatively, I believe we also do have a donate button on the website, which is through PayPal. So if you don't want to go through Patreon, you could drop us a one-off or recurring through PayPal if that's more your style. I'm sure there was a donate button there.
Or if you just want to like write us like huge checks.
Huge checks that will account. Just make them. Just message me. Just email Chris at MobileTechTalk. I'll happily give you all the requirements. But no, of course, we should be back next week.
Yeah, and just one thing before we do sort of roll up. I don't know if people might have or might not have noticed. With it being Christmas time, we have started doing a series of top 5 things, and each of us have picked a different category of top 5 things that we're doing, and those will be rolling up. I know Sidow's is tomorrow morning, I think.
I don't know. I know
it had been scheduled somewhere else and I moved it.
Yeah. See, I know.
And I know there was one done before. And we've also got our Christmas Merry Melodies,
Oh
where
yeah,
each
forgot
of
about that.
us will be, with one exception, we will all be picking 3 songs that we really like, that are Christmassy songs, and 1 song that we'd like to banish forever, except for Mr. Grumpy, Dom, who is going to give out 3 songs that he'd like to banish forever and 1 that he doesn't completely, totally hate.
All right, I thought that was just. I thought the one exception was me because I literally have not had time plus of the backlog, which I've managed to
Yep.
clear slightly.
It'll take you a good 30 minutes, right? I've dumped a load of Christmas music into the M drive, so go listen, pick 3.
Yeah. So, in the interest of keeping it under an hour, I've done the outro. We plugged the last little bit. So that is it. Like I
Yes.
said, back next week. Who with? I don't know. Hopefully, if you could chip in, and or let's say if you could chip in and buy Dom a new webcam, that'd be nice. But we will see you hopefully next week. And
Yeah,
I've lost my mouse again.
because the way like podcasts work is that they see us, we don't see them.
Oh yeah, whatever. Let's just go with it. It's how I got. It's how I was
Yeah,
taught
it's
in
like
life.
it's pushing 9 o'clock at this point. I'm just like, and December. Oh my god, there's so much stuff, and it's just like, oh god. And seriously, like the Chinese visa place, like just. Oh.
Anyway, next week we'll be back, hopefully.